accelerated shift towards EVs, stricter emission norms, and also software-driven mobility.
Exactly. Now, our next speaker brings a unique ringside view of how Maruti Suzuki, India's largest passenger vehicle manufacturer, is balancing affordability, its traditional strength, with premiumization and electrification. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Partho Banerjee, Senior Executive Officer, Marketing and Sales, Maruti Suzuki India. But before we bring him up, you know, it's going to be a very exciting session. And to moderate this session, we'll have on stage Ayesha Faridi to do this. And of course, the topic is India Goes Electric. So over to Mr. Banerjee and Ayesha.
Thank you, Sumit, as well as Ashish, and thank you, all of you. We've had a lot of focus on mobility. Our topic is navigating geoeconomics at the India Economic Conclave, and who better than Partho Banerjee himself joining in today from Maruti Suzuki to talk about that. Thank you so much for your time.
I think first of all, I'd like to thank the Times Network Group for coming up with this conclave. And Ayesha, you rightly mentioned, I know before me there were some speakers. My good friends Tarun would have spoken about the Indian mobility. So, interesting.
And Mr. Gadkari yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I think being the market leader, everybody is thinking that why Maruti is not coming with the electric vehicle. So, wherever I go in the media, any place, everybody asks me, sir, why you people are not coming? So, in fact...
Why you people are not coming?
Okay, I was expecting that. In fact, I ask a simple question to all my media friends. How do you define coming? Is giving a total solution more important or giving a part of it is more important?
Obviously, if it's Maruti, we expect the complete solution, don't we all?
Actually, not from others.
I didn't say anything.
Just to give you a perspective for bringing the audience to the same platform. Today, if we talk about the EV, we being the market leader, we feel it is very important for us to have a play in all form factors and also to have a play across all the segments. And also the technologies, be it the EV, be it the hybrids, be it the ICE, be it the CNG. Because you cannot be a market leader if you are not offering all the type of products and you are not catering to all the segments. Now coming to EV, today there are more than some 17 to 18 models in the segment. I'm the one which are doing some numbers. But the car penetration of EV on the total industry is just 4%. 4%. So it doesn't make too much of a difference in a country like ours where we are selling close to, every month, industry is doing close to 4 lakh sales. Just 4% is around 17,000. So what is the reason why people are not adapting to the EV? That's a very fundamental question. So we are lucky. Many of our friends in the industries, they first launched it. From there, we had some learnings. And from the customers, we came to know that there are certain concerns in their mind. Till the time we are not able to address that, only we will get the early adapters, but we will not get the mass movement for the electric vehicle.
So I'm very curious. What is this amazing plan that you're working on? What do consumers want from EVs? And not, like you said, not the nascent ones, the ones who will stick by.
Yeah, generally if any new model comes, Ayesha, there are initially some early adapters जो अपने घर के सामने गाड़ी खड़ी करेंगे कि भाई ये नई गाड़ी लेके आए हैं, but they are not brand loyalist. They will again move on to another brand. But ultimately, a OEM looks for the loyalist who will stay with the brand and they will be promoting it. So fundamentally, if we need to take into account this set of customers, you need to work on those. And when we did a research that what are the so-called the inhibitions the customers are having to move to an EV, fundamentally 4 things came out. First was the range of the vehicle. Now, what has happened in the past, the products which has been offered to the Indian customers, what was the range claimed vis-a-vis actually what the range they got? There was a huge gap. So now the customers are little concerned कि if the OEMs are claiming some range, actually in reality how much I will get. Second thing was, they were not buying this car as the primary car, not the first car in their house. The reason was very simple. If in India the car penetration is 34 per thousand, the customer who is buying the first car in his family, he is not buying it for a purpose that if I have to go out of the city, I will be using another car. Within the city, if I am traveling, I will be using the EV. He wants a car. If he wants to go to Chandigarh, Jaipur, it should do. At the same time, for 360 days when I am in the town in Delhi, I will be able to use that vehicle. Now, if you don't have a good public charging system, he will not be able to use it if he is going out of the city. Third important point is this, how good the product is. At the end of the day, you need to give a good after-sale service. Very important. Technology, everything is fine, but you need an after-sale service network. And fourth thing is, which is very important, कि भाई 5 साल बाद मुझे गाड़ी बदल के दूसरी गाड़ी लेनी है, what is the resale value I will get? Now, if you talk about today the conventional ICE vehicles, after 5 years, you get at least 50% as the salvage price. So what is the thing I can expect after 5 years? Because EV generally people know is a battery. And if the battery after 5 years, life is going down, then what is the price I will get? So till the time whosoever is able to take care of all these 4 concerns, then only the customer will start thinking that I can now shift to an electric vehicle. So Ayesha, Maruti is trying to work on all these 4 concerns, how we can address it, and then we want to launch our product.
Understood. But that gives me a lot of questions to ask about Maruti's plan. Is it in the very near term more about infrastructure, or is it about what you said, make that car which will make people loyal for life?
We believe one thing, you need to design horses for the courses. So at the end of the day, when we are designing a product, we keep in mind, and we are in this market for last 40 years. So थोड़ी बहुत तो हम लोगों को कस्टमर के साथ में कनेक्ट बनाया है हम लोगों ने, थोड़ी समझ तो आई है. उस समझ को लेते हुए we try to see what is the best thing which will fit in for the customers, what features to be provided. That makes a difference, because you can't just copy and paste a product. See, what was the playbook in the Norway for the electric vehicles? Electric vehicle in Norway penetration is almost close to almost 90-95%. You cannot just have the copy and paste of the Norway playbook to the Indian playbook. It won't work. You need to adapt it to the local conditions. Get your product, made it suitable to the Indian consumers, and then you offer it. It makes a difference. वही थोड़ी बहुत मारुति ने सीख लिया है.
So, do you have a timeline in your mind as to when will we see an EV from the Maruti stable?
Ayesha, I'm a bit surprised that you are not following Maruti. This year, Bharat Mobility Show, we showcased our product, the e-Vitara.
Yes.
And just to share with you, the production is already happening from our Gujarat plant. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, flagged it off. The vehicles are already running now on the UK roads. I have been to London and I saw the response there. Amazing response. More than 10,000 vehicles have been exported. In the next month, in Japan, this e-Vitara is going to run on the roads. The booking has started. And we have a plan to export it to 100 countries. So in fact, for the domestic market, we are going to start the test drive campaigns very soon from the beginning of the new calendar year, and then we are going to start the bookings.
Brilliant. So also wanted to ask about whether now with the e-Vitara launch, is that going to be the focus, or would it be hybrids, or would the dominant share from Maruti stable continue to be ICE engines?
I will give a classic example. If a surgeon is there, he needs a surgeon knife to do a surgery. Why you want to offer him a butcher's knife? So the point is this, based on the needs and based on the customer requirement, we will offer hybrid, EV, ICE, CNG, all the type of products. And let the customer decide. Why I need to push one technology more than the other? Is it not better giving option to the customer to decide?
But you know, the customer today is so much more aware, and who would know this better than you? You've been on the Indian roads for the last 4 decades now. The consumer, and ever since COVID, has evolved so much. I mean, who would have thought that at least in the metros, SUVs will be more found on roads and be more sold than perhaps passenger vehicles traditionally as we knew them? What is that one thing that you're observing about the Indian consumer today?
See, I know today everyone is talking about the SUV, and we are also having a big play in the SUV. We have recently launched the Victoris, and it's rocking. But maybe the Desire which we launched last year is a sedan. Maybe we're going to be the #1 model this year across the industry. So the point which I'm trying to make is this: each segment will have a role to play. Sedans, hatches, SUVs, MPVs, all will have a role to play. You cannot just say that one segment will be doing. It depends. Yeah, SUV has a role to play. Fundamentally, SUV has got some benefits. But if you're moving on the so-called the city roads, SUV is more for off-roading purpose. So if you are in the city roads and other thing, the sedan is a perfect good car. So customers are preferring sedans. Some customers are preferring SUV. We respect their decisions.
You know, I have to talk about the fact that the theme today is about navigating geoeconomics. And who would know this better than you and your industry? From the global learnings that you've had on how Maruti's parent, or for that matter, how Maruti's dealt with other countries, what's been the one learning that you've had in the last 2 years when the going has been a little tough when it comes to maneuvering, you know, businesses with other countries, everything from chip shortage to rare earth magnets? The auto industry has had its fair share of challenges.
I think very good question, Ayesha. One thing I would like to say, localization is the mantra. And you need to be Atmanirbhar, which I think our Honorable Prime Minister also talk about it, and also make in India. So in fact, if you talk about e-Vitara, this is the product which is make in India for the whole world. All the electric vehicles which we are going to export will be made in India, and we will be exporting it. So we are so much now having the confidence that the quality of the product which we are delivering to the Indian customer is at par with the global standards. A vehicle which is made in India running on the UK roads, the developed countries like UK, Europe and Japan, it gives a testimony that how much the quality levels have gone up. And we believe the localization is the key in times to come. And that's how the Maruti always have been focusing on localizing.
But localization will not happen overnight. Whereas, like you said, you know, 4 lakh cars sold every month on Indian roads, that's catching up faster than the localization process itself. What are the challenges that you face on a daily basis or are currently facing because of the global supply chain dynamics that mar the auto industry?
See, after the COVID, I think, and the semiconductor issue, one thing is very clear, that we need to have our own setups. Like you're talking about the semiconductor, the chip part of it. Now, many of the companies are setting up their plants in India for the manufacturing. The EV battery localization is another thing which is going to play a very major role in times to come. if the EV penetration has to go up. So I think now, if you talk about the Indian industry, they have understood the game, that the play is there only if you are going for the localization.
Absolutely. When you talk about localization, and I was having this chat, with your colleague from the industry, Mr. Tarungar from Hyundai, just a short while back, and he was saying that the play in the auto industry is now more about customization and personalization. Is that where you see cars on Indian roads heading? To each their own and to the way they want?
See, today, right now, we are sitting in Taj Palace, Darbar Hall. Everybody would love to come here and enjoy a cup of tea. Absolutely no doubt about it. But there is a wallet power also. And at the end of the day, in India, we need to understand the car penetration per thousand is still at 34. In mature markets, if I talk about US, Japan, it is 900, 800. So we have a long way to go. And if we have to upgrade the two-wheelers to the four-wheelers, we need to have a bridge in between. Absolutely no doubt. If you see last 2 years, the overall flywheel of the auto industry has not grown. 2 to 3% is insignificant. If you need to make the flywheel bigger, you need to get more and people upgrade from two-wheelers to four-wheelers. The classic stories of Japan. When I used to visit Japan in 1990s, I used to see plenty of two-wheelers on the road. And today when I go to Japan, I see hardly one or two. What happened? That
Population aged.
No. That's not the point I was trying to make. Population aging is not the point. There the people could manage to upgrade from a two-wheeler to a four-wheeler. How it happened? The government came with a concept of the K car. And that was the tipping point by which the people who were riding the two-wheeler could afford to move to a four-wheeler, to K car. Then later on they moved to bigger cars. That's how the transition happens. If you want to have a leapfrog from going from directly from a two-wheeler to a car costing 25 lakhs, practically it will not be possible. You need to give them some stepping stones. So we in Maruti feel, yes, customization, personalization, all are required. It depends on the segmentation of the customer. In the segment in which you are working, in that segment, giving the customization, personalization works. Like in mid SUVs, premium SUVs, if you're offering the things, it works. Within the model, the higher variants, you can give that. But first of all, you need to give an option to the customer to at least upgrade from a two-wheeler to four-wheeler. Everybody aspires to own a car. How we can make their dreams come true? That is also equally important, Ayesha.
Is affordability always going to be at the heart with Maruti?
No. At the end of the day, if we are trying to make the dreams of the people come true, what's wrong with that?
No, absolutely nothing. I'm just saying, is that a priority?
Why you have to put in that way?
The price points, affordability. It was a compliment.
At the end of the day, it is not the price point. To understand the needs of the customer and to bring with the products. Like in 2005, we came with the Swift. Initially, nobody thought this is a product which can do wonders. It won 3 ICOTs and all the time it has been a winner. Still today, when people talk about SUVs, the hatches are ruling the roost. Today we talk about the Swift. That side we have the Baleno, Rockstar. At the same time, we have the SUVs, the Brezas and the Fronks. They are doing wonders. So the point which I'm trying to say, कहते हैं ना बॉलीवुड में भी हर तरह के आर्टिस्ट होते हैं. सलमान खान एक तरफ, आमिर खान एक तरफ, शाहरुख खान. तो सबका प्ले है. You can't say that only one size will fit all. You need to have all the different type of stars in your portfolio. So fortunately, we have got all the type of stars: Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Salman Khan.
Singh. Yes. And Akshay Khanna, keeping up with the Dhurandhar fanfare right now.
We need to have more so that we can take care of the whole of the gamut of the customers.
So that's something so interesting. So from what I look at is the Maruti in the next 5 years is going to cater to all and every car demand and car consumer. Is there one specific thing which could be more margin accretive, one segment of cars that you may want to focus in on more?
Oh, Aisha, again I said, being a market leader, we are going to have a play across all the segments. We are not going to pick and choose. Yes, we will be watching very closely the trends, and based on the market requirement, we are going to provide the products in line with their needs.
You know, when I asked you earlier about EV adoptability, you talked about 4 factors. You talked about range, you talked about the fact that it should be not just someone's primary car, or rather secondary car as an EV, but it should be their primary car and they should come back to that same brand and brand loyalty. You also talked about infrastructure and the fact that it should have resale value. Where do you currently see the bigger challenges? Is infrastructure really a hurdle still right now? And I'm talking about beyond the metros.
Yeah. I will tell you what we are doing. What is our game plan? And we have recently showcased it to all the Janno friends. On 2nd of December, we invited our media friends and we showcased to them that how Maruti is making India go electric. So India go electric is not a mandate. What we are saying, we are trying to build in the confidence among the customers that what Maruti is doing. 40 years back when we came into this country, you know, we didn't start it with our showrooms first. We started with our service centers. And that time, we had our dealers who were setting up the showrooms, but we wanted to have a huge network of service centers. That time, we had a concept of introducing the Maruti authorized service stations. Now we don't have it. We only give it to our dealer partners to only expand. But initially we started. The purpose was to expand quickly and give after-sale support to the customer. That's how we started. And again we feel after 4 decades when we are going to venture into the EV segment, we need to again go back to the same basics. Win the confidence of the customer. So what we have done, we have made 1500 workshop across 1100 cities EV enabled. 1100 cities, Aisha. Nobody could do it. B, we have got all our CPOs under the Maruti umbrella, One India, One app. And today 70% of our fast chargers are under our umbrella. So if any customer who is buying our product, be it the discovery of the fast chargers, booking of the fast chargers, and even making the payment, everything is seamless. Otherwise, what happens today? If you see a CPO 1 charger, you need to download that app. CPO 2 charger, you have to download his app. So maybe in your mobile, you will have got 15 or 20 apps of the respective CPO. It is quite painful. You need to download it, you have to do it. B, the important point is this. What we have done is we have exclusively started creating our network. We have got 2,000 chargers across the country. The point we are trying to make, even we have not started selling a single car, but we are doing a huge investment in the infrastructure, getting trained our manpower. 1.5 lakh of our sales and service staff has been. That our is always by your side. And we literally mean it, and we are going to deliver it.
The service center that you started with 40 years back has now come on the phone, basically. Need of the hour. Curious to know, which Maruti car do you drive?
I have been having all the cars in my life as I have grown with Maruti. Presently, I drive the Invicto.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time today, Partho.
Thank you.
Lovely speaking with
Thank
you.
you. Ayesha.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you.